everyone. I'm very happy to be talking to you guys today, even if I wish I could have been there in person, but I will add my email address at the end of this presentation. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to reach out. So my name is Mireille Copin, and I graduated from the section in 2014. I'm now in my first year of getting a PhD in psycholinguistics. So basically, I'm studying how adults learn a second language. Let me make clear that as I was in high school preparing for the baccalaureate, I didn't want to get a PhD. I didn't think I wanted to study linguistics, and in fact, I had no idea that psycholinguistics as a field of study even existed. So if you're sitting here thinking that you don't know what you want to do after high school, that's perfectly normal and it's nothing to stress over. After graduating, you'll have plenty of time to make a more informed decision as you'll discover more fields and career paths available to you. And this is just the first choice you'll have to make from a series of many more choices. And nothing is set in stone. You are free to change your mind afterwards. I'm perfectly happy with where I am right now, but believe me, I spent a lot of time thinking things over and changing my mind about 1,000 times. And I know I could have made 1,000 different decisions, different choices, and being either somewhere completely different or doing exactly the same thing. There's not just one way of getting where you want to be. So it's also okay to take time and figure things out. And in fact, if you have the opportunity of just taking a breath and take more time, just do it. For instance, I didn't know what I wanted to do after high school. So I only knew I wanted to go abroad and study Japanese. So I applied for the Rotary Youth Exchange Program and I went to Japan for a year right after my baccalaureate as a high school student. And it was a way, of course, for me to get a life experience and to learn the language. But it was also a way for me to delay the time when I would have to make a decision about what I wanted to study. So if you want to do an exchange program while in high school, you better plan ahead. And that's true for taking part in any kind of program. The first thing you have to do is look up the deadlines. Seriously. And be sure to plan at least 1 year ahead of time, because you'll see that there's usually a year between the time when you have to apply and the time you finally get to go where you want to go. So it's too late if you're in terminale to go as a high school student, but it's nothing to worry about because you have plenty of opportunities afterwards. And in fact, right after my licence, I went to Germany, but this time as a language teaching assistant, as part of a program conducted by France Éducation Internationale. So I learned about this program from a teacher, and I immediately decided to apply, even though at the time I wasn't even thinking about going abroad again. But what made me ultimately decide to apply was the fact that I was in the beginning my third year of licence, and I was tired of studying. I was doing a double licence in English and Japanese, and the workload was quite heavy, so that made me reconsider a lot of things. At the time, I wanted to be a French teacher for foreigners, which I needed a master's degree for. But before getting a master, I wanted to make sure that what I would be studying for was actually a career that I would enjoy doing. So again, I took 1 more year to figure it out by working as a teaching assistant. And the reason why I chose Germany was, of course, because I was interested in learning German. But it was also a very strategic choice, because from looking up the different requirements and the information about the participating countries of the program, and also asking the people that were working for the program, I learned that there were far more open slots for teaching assistants than there would be applicants for going to Germany. Whereas the UK, for instance, was a highly sought destination. So I knew that as long as I met the bare requirements for going to Germany, so basically finding out all the needed documents and having a certain language level, then I was pretty much sure to go, and they wouldn't look too closely into my file. So here's my second advice for going abroad, is that look closely at the requirements, so to be sure to be the best candidate. But if going abroad is more important than going to a certain destination or a specific country, you might want to choose the less attractive destination, because then you're boosting your chances of being accepted and you might be in for a nice surprise. Also, I was interested in studying, but many of the participants in the program weren't. They just took this opportunity to go work and live abroad. So again, think strategically. If you can't get into an Erasmus program, for instance, but you still want to go to a certain country or just go to any country, there might be other ways for you to get there that might not involve studying, but might still be within the safety of an exchange program. So being in this section definitely helped me make those choices. I was definitely open to go outside of my comfort zone and to live abroad for a while, because I felt that was something that had been encouraged when I was in the section. But at the same time, it was also because I could see the benefits and I could see what I could gain from it. So I didn't just go because the teachers thought that I should, but I definitely considered going abroad as an option that was available to me because I was told about it. So I don't want to keep talking for too long, so I'll just end this video on this piece of advice that I was given when I was applying to get a PhD. And I was told that you shouldn't do this just because you think it's the next step and without any idea of what you'll do afterwards. So in other words, don't do something just because you haven't thought about all the other options or because you think that's what people expect you to do. Do it because you genuinely want to, because this is what will get you wherever you want to be next. And I know you're under a lot of pressure from your family, from the school, probably the teachers as well. And you are probably told something along the lines of, oh, if you have such grades, then this is what you should aim for, so on and so forth. But again, let me repeat, don't do something just because that's what you think you should do. And it's also better if you have an idea of what doing so and so will get you and where it will get you. You'll obviously discover that you have more options as you go on, but it will give you a greater peace of mind if you start something knowing what the possible outcome might be for you and where you can go next. And there's no perfect choice. And I know parents and teachers, they mean well, but they're not the person that can make the best choice for you. You're that person. In an ideal world, you should make the choice of doing what you want to do without being influenced or pressured by anyone. But I know that's not possible, especially when you're in high school. So I want to say again that the choice you're making is just the first choice of many more choices to come. So you can really afford to change your mind and make mistakes. So I hope that what I've told you today has helped you in any way. I wish you all the best and good luck for the rest of high school. Bye!